The new Renault Koleos is designed to carry more than just people. It's also supposed to carry Renault out of the niche car marketplace and onto the shopping lists of those who might otherwise be considering a more mainstream brand. And not just in Australia, but around the world, where SUVs like this one make up 1 in every 5 new car sales. So if Renault is to become a serious player in Australia, it'll be off the back of the Koleos, and specifically this Koleos, the mid-spec Zen model, which Renault expects to be the volume seller. Geez, that's a lot of pressure. So does the new Koleos live up to its maker's expectations?
This new Koleos has been 8 years in the making, with the last all-new vehicle arriving way back in 2008. It's a product of Renault's alliance with Nissan, and so the Koleos shares some crucial components, including its platform, with the Japanese brand's XTrail. But if you're expecting something dowdy, worry not. There's still plenty of French Flair in the Koleos' DNA. The front-wheel drive Zen we've tested here sits above the price-led Life and below the top spec Intens. It's also available as a four-wheel drive, which will set you back a further $2,500.
Inside, the Zen gets this 7-inch touchscreen, which sits above this active section of the dash. Now that controls everything from the dual zone climate control to the standard navigation, and even their style rules. If you're not happy with that colour scheme, you can change it anytime you'd like. Elsewhere, you do get artificial leather, but it doesn't feel cheap. These seats are actually still quite nice to the touch. There's a feeling of refinement to the cabin too, like some serious thoughts gone into it. Everything just feels sleek and stylish and well put together, despite the use of some fairly cheap plastics in places.
Opting for the Zen over the entry-level Life also gets you heated seats in the front, as well as push-button start and proximity unlocking. You also get automatic wipers and headlights, along with dual-zone climate control. It looks good too. The Koleos Zen rides on 18-inch alloys, and all trim levels get LED daytime running lights at the front. The gigantic Renault badge is undoubtedly polarising, but I gotta say, I quite like it. On the safety front, you'll get 6 airbags as standard, along with hill start assist, rear parking sensors and a rear view camera, but it does miss out on things like autonomous braking and blind spot monitoring, both of which arrive as standard on some of the Renault's key competition.
The new Koleos has grown in just about every dimension too, so there's a heap of room here in the back seat. There's plenty of leg and headroom, along with 2 ISOFIX attachment points. This pull-down divider houses 2 cup holders to match the 2 in the front, and there's plenty of room in the door sills for bottles. And because it's a dedicated 5-seater with no 7-seat option, there's always a ton of room in the back. Even with the rear seats up, that's plenty of room. But if you drop them using these levers, the space becomes absolutely enormous. There's plenty of room for our pram or about a year's worth of groceries.
There's only the one engine available across the Koleos range, and it's a 2.5 litre petrol paired with a CVT automatic transmission. It's an appropriate, if not exhilarating, powertrain combination, and it's built more for suburban shuttling than bombing along a back road. Keep it in the city, and there's ample power to shift its bulk away from the lights, but it can run out of puff if you ask too much of it.
It's an immensely comfortable cruiser around town. The vision's excellent, the power delivery is smooth, and the gearbox is relatively unobtrusive. It does create this kind of drone though as you're getting up to city speeds. It does permeate the cabin. You do get used to it, but it's not the quietest of cabins under acceleration. The suspension's pretty good too, soaking up sort of imperfections with very little fuss. And the steering's nicely weighted, but it's not the most natural feel I've ever experienced. The Renault Koleos Zen is a nice blend of French flair and Japanese practicality. It's handsome, well-equipped and practical. Whether or not it pushes Renault to the top of the mainstream sales charts remain to be seen, but with SUV sales booming in this country, it's the car that could do it. To read the full review, click here. And don't forget to subscribe to stay on top of all our latest videos.